I have been getting asked to talk about this. What's my opinion on this? What do I think? And I'm going to tell you right now, this is, and I truly mean this is going to be the first and only time I'm going to talk about this subject, and I'm not finna make this a long and ongoing subject because to a certain degree, I believe this is a distraction. I believe that this is some kind of distraction for a lot of different things. And I just want to say to Ryan Garcia, don't think you finna use Diddy to, get around the fact that you tested positive for PEDs and that you have the B sample test coming up this coming week. A lot of these things be distractions and at the expense of guys that look like Sean Combs. I've been telling you about this dude for years. Back in the day, I told people that dude ain't nothing to play with. Despite what you think about the dude got a real sneaky side to him. Now, listen, we could talk about this because as far as I'm concerned, the case has been closed. People already been convicted, did their time, whatever the case may be. So dude is out of double jeopardy. He's out of double jeopardy. Plus, at the end of the day, once again, the case has been closed. Many people believe the person that was behind the trigger was Sean Combs. Now, keep in mind, there was an incident involving him and Suge Knight, where somebody close to Suge Knight got knocked down. You've been hearing about this stuff. You've been hearing about dude having a questionable character for years. It doesn't matter what his preference is, what he's into, and all that kind of stuff. If you are naive to believe that a dude like him can't be dangerous, then I don't know what to tell you. At the end of the day, we all know Curtis Jackson is hiding behind his, ex FBI agents and cops and all that kind of stuff. Man has 24-hour security, but at the end of the day, if it's really that serious, there's ways to get around that because there's no such thing as foolproof. So I want to talk about the situation in regards to a video leaking of him savagely attacking Cassie. I'm not surprised by it, but at the end of the day, we also have to be careful about how the media is going to spin this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I see a lot of hypocrisy in women, in dudes, and in particularly in our community. And this is what I'm saying, that we got to have the same energy for everybody. And that's just real talk. As far as me just saying poor Cassie and going on this Cassie sympathy train, I'm not going to do that because I feel like this. At the end of the day, Cassie walked away with $30 million allegedly. I don't want to hear this stuff about she was brave to come forward and all this kind of stuff. Probably her cash flow was low. And then her and Sean Combs broke up allegedly 2018, 2019. So you stayed with a dude that did that to you. And I know people are going to come here in the comment section and say, oh, well, maybe she was scared and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'm not always buying the whole they were scared stuff. A lot of people, sometimes people have to have a harsh reality check, and they always talk about the price of fame. Dude is a influential man, has a lot of influence. I never looked at the dude as a role model or nothing like that. I never really messed with Diddy like that on that type of level. I respected what he did, becoming, a billionaire. they saying that he's Diddy, depending on what report you look at, that he's worth around $1 billion or close to $1 billion. So I give him credit for that. He does have a lot of money. I give him credit for that. I'm always happy to hear about a black man doing well. But one thing we as a community got to watch out for, and especially black men, because you got to understand who controls the media, the masses. We all know who controls mainstream media, and we cannot let them affiliate or attach what's going on with Diddy to black men as a whole. Now, I saw Stephen A. Smith going on one of his disingenuous tirades about he was disgusted and all this stuff, but this is the same nigga that defended Dana White. So what are we doing here? Are we like, you shouldn't touch a woman, or you shouldn't touch a woman in that manner? Because he defended Dana White. Just like he defended Jerry Jones. Just like he defended Megyn Kelly. So I take what Stephen A. Smith say with a grain of sand, because at the end of the day, we still have to remember who signs his checks. Okay. So this is why I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time talking about this. I'm not going to feed into the masses. I'm not going to do story after story about this. I think looking at that video, it wasn't a good look. It was terrible. But at the end of the day, Cassie could have set an example. She should have went and got the authorities, but she chose to say nothing. So she went through that for years. And of course, that wasn't the first incident. Now, all this stuff about somebody is finished, at the end of the day, nobody is completely finished. Like, how is he finished? The man still gonna have hundreds of millions of dollars in his bank account. So how is he finished? What, you gonna temporarily not listen to his music? Because I can name artists that done just as much as he did, or worse, black and white. And to you women that's sitting up here talking about you disgusted and how could he do that to a woman? But y'all the same women that sit up there and say you like dudes like this. You will deal with a dude like him who got money and power, who has a very questionable, shaky personality, but the so-called nice guy bores you. So some of y'all to blame for this type of stuff too. I just see a lot of hypocrisy. And then you got women on here always talking about they'll fight a man and this kind of stuff, and they'll beat it. In all reality, no, you can't. I'm talking about unless you are just like highly trained. I'm talking about highly trained in, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of combat, as far as in physical combat as well. I'm talking about levels of extreme fighting, to where you know how to hit certain points of the body to where you can like do serious damage. In all likelihood, the man is going to come out on top 9 out of 10 times. Okay. But this is the message that they also send, where you have women thinking that they are better men than we are. And this is why women need to stop pushing this movement and stop saying that they can fight a man and all this kind of stuff. Because y'all the same ones that be talking that shit. Now all of a sudden you disturbed by what you seen. Because in reality, that's what really can happen to y'all. You know? So, just saying. I'm just putting it. This is why women need to stop saying this stuff. Oh, I'll fight a man. I'll fight a man. And in all likelihood, that's what really can happen to y'all. Stop hollering about equal rights, because there is gonna be that moment where you get equal rights, equal right hook and a equal left jab. So for the women that's sitting up here that's saying they disturbed and bothered by this, y'all part of the problem. Shut the fuck up talking this, you know what I'm saying? This, fake feminist, you're more of a man than I am and you're not. Because like I said, we really got to get into the thick of things. And the truth just got to be said. And then some of you niggas that's acting like y'all just so disturbed by what happened with Diddy. Come on, man. Some of y'all need to stop it with y'all fake outrage as well. Because if Diddy contacted y'all and said, hey, I see you are trying to put together a film project or you trying to start a business and I want to invest $500,000 in your business, I bet you would take that damn money in a blink of an eye. So quit trying to act like you just have this high moral standard and moral compass. Just stop it. Of course he's wrong for what he did. But I just got to say this. A lot of people on here is just fake. A lot of people on here is just fake. You can't sit up there and be mad about what Diddy did to Cassie because at the same time, you are pushing that movement. How many times have we heard women say, oh, I like a guy that's a little rough. I like a guy that takes, that take the initiative. I don't like nice guys that go to work and, live a simple life. That's boring to me. So once again, you push that movement. So I have to call you out on your hypocrisy. I don't want to hear this stuff about she was scared and all that stuff. She wanted the notoriety and the fame at a cost. And at the end of the day, she still walked away with $30 million. Now, whoever Sean Combs then pissed off, he did pissed off somebody really bad. Now, allegedly, he paid $50,000 to get hold of that footage. Now, how somebody got a hold of that footage is beyond me. But then again, anything that's recorded through surveillance, in all likelihood, there's always duplicates. So whoever the person is, Sean Combs have a disloyal person in his circle, or he didn't made somebody mad. But what's going to really happen to him? Nothing. Is he going to go to jail? No. Of course, people make tons and tons of videos how they're horrified and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, they're going to be tons of that. But then you see these type of things every day. I just seen a white man shoot at the police, literally try to shoot at the police and take him out. But yet he was wounded. But then you hearing about black men that served in the United States military being deleted in their own home. Now you would think the police would have probable cause to just take dude out, but they did everything in their power not to fatally harm and use lethal force. But then they coming in black man's house using lethal force. Yeah, I'm going there. Well, listen, dude. I'm not trying to defend Sean Combs, and I'm not gonna spend a whole time like tearing into him, because I'm saying there's a lot of other people that's doing this that don't look like him. And you heard me, if you would have listened to the videos, say that dude got a history of doing this stuff. So I don't need you giving me a life lesson about this dude. Okay? There's one host, and that's me. Okay? Make sure you have that same energy for guys like Kevin Spacey. for Ezra Miller, for Roman Polanski, a dude that's been on the run for 50 years. Have that same energy. Don't just sit up here and think that everybody is just supposed to go in on P. Diddy, because still at the same time, he ain't been arrested for nothing. So that's all I'm saying. So if you coming on here to troll and sit up there and trying to tell me how to run my outlet, you might as well bounce. Because I'm getting into the thick of things. I'm diving deep into this. Everybody is to blame for this. So you can take your cape and go somewhere else. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's continue. Well, here's the thing though. Well, I'm not worried about what Kevin Spacey got coming out. At the end of the day, there's not no outrage for him. This is a dude that pretty much tried to settle out of court, and basically he's continuing with his career. And a lot of people that refused to settle mysteriously ended up deleted. At least 3 people. There were several people that accused him of this stuff. All I'm saying is have the same energy and have the same outrage for everybody. Don't sit up here and join in on the pile on a black man who doing the same thing that white boys been getting away with for years. Sean Penn used to do this to Madonna. And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, bro, you dude, you seem not to be comprehending what I'm saying. I've said this in lamest terms. I've tried to explain this to you. I'm not defending him. I'm calling everybody out and holding everybody accountable. You are being too emotional. I just wonder, do you do this when you hear about the white boys doing this? Or are you just some black dude that's trying to come on here and troll my channel and only have this energy for black people? Because I've never seen you before. That's all. No, you don't understand, because I've said this several times. I've said at the beginning of the video, I broke down his history. I already said that this dude is a gangster and that this dude got a dangerous side to him. All I'm saying is, as a community, as a black community, we have to be careful with this and don't let other people hang this on us. I need for you to clean the wax out your ears, because you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm holding everybody accountable. Oh man. Bro, please, dude, listen. What's up? Bro, you not listening. I just explained to you several times and you not listening. He's not going to jail. Now, do I believe this is a seek and destroy a shaming campaign? Of course. Him and Cassie has already settled out of court. Yeah, Diddy is looking like he's a monster. But what I'm saying is Roman Polanski is a monster. Sean Penn was a monster. All I'm saying is have this. Ezra Miller is a monster. Kevin Spacey is a monster. And at one time, allegedly, from what I heard, Charlie Sheen was a monster. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as a society and as a whole and as black people, don't let the other people attach this solely with black people. Dana White is on camera slapping his wife, and people made excuses for him. But now all of a sudden we mad at Sean Combs. At the end of the day, Cassie should have left. Somebody do that to you and you stay with them for 2 additional years, that says a lot about you. That means you was willing to compromise your your integrity and your decency for notoriety and fame. So I don't consider her brave whatsoever. If she was brave, she would have reported this when this first happened. The lady in the academics thing, she reported it when it first happened. So that's why she has more credibility than Cassie. And all I'm saying is, our women condone this type of behavior. The typical, oh, well, if he don't hit you, he don't love you. Or I like a bad boy. I like a roughneck. But then the dude that take care of business, do right, that's morally responsible, financially responsible, take care of his bills, take care of his business, he's considered boring. Guys like Sean Combs been getting glamorized because they are looked upon as heroes in our community, or who you want to model yourself after. Nah, I don't think so. Nah, Showtime, I'm trying to explain this to this dude. You know, Showtime, I done made several videos over the years. You've been on my channel for a while, hinting that Diddy was this kind of dude. I've been saying this about this dude. When his children's mother, Kim Porter, mysteriously ended up deleted, what did I say? When Al B. Sure got sick and got poisoned, what did I say? So no, I'm not defending this dude. But the problem is, a lot of people glamorize that type of stuff. The gangsterism, the so-called playboy bad boy thing, the roughneck thing. This has been told to us what is the ideal black man supposed to be. Because like I say, we the only community that celebrate going back and forth to prison. We celebrate doing illegal activity. That's frowned upon if you do the right thing. You consider the sellout if you educate yourself, start a legitimate business. So like I said, the community as a whole need to re-examine, and we need to walk this back and do a 360 and really have real conversations about this situation. And that's all I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have it. You know? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be one of these dudes. Oh, I'm just appalled and all this kind of stuff, man. Come on. Some of these dudes are just putting it on too thick. Because my thing is, everybody is mad at Sean Combs and saying they was appalled and all this stuff. I'm just saying, where was the media as a whole when that MMA fighter, Showtime, War Machine, this dude not only broke into ex-girlfriend's house and beat her within an inch of her life, he attacked the dude that she was with, beat his ass. I mean, he beat her to where she was unrecognizable. But you didn't see ESPN doing no stories on that. Same thing with all them NFL players, the white ones, that was getting accused of domestic violence. Where was all these headlines? You seen how they downplayed the Josh Giddey situation. So that's all I'm saying. I promise you, if Kevin Durant would have been Josh Giddey, I guarantee you that would have been a national story. If that was Kevin Durant, if that was Stephen Curry, that would have been a national story. And by the way, shame on Stephen Curry for being a executive producer of that horrible cartoon remake. And I don't even call it a remake of Good Times. And then not to mention one of the co-creators of that show is Seth MacFarlane. That suspect racist who love to portray black people in certain type of ways. So middle finger to him. Well, I just want to know and ask this question: is we gonna have the same energy when a white boy get accused of this stuff? Is we gonna sit up there and say cancel him? All I'm saying is have the same energy for everybody. And I'm saying as black men, don't let these non-blacks and let these white people try to attach this type of behavior solely to black men, because you have to remember a lot of times they use this to push an agenda. Just like they pushing the Skittles agenda heavily on the black community, they want to push the predator, the violent, savage, uncontrollable, tyrant. They want to put that image. So we have to watch out. At the end of the day, we can go in on Diddy and we can condemn him, but at the same time, we can't just put so much energy into this. This is why I told black people to be careful, and most people got it. This is why I told black people to be careful with the Will Smith thing. Okay. But at the end of the day, at least Will Smith put his hands on another man though. So, which that was overblown. So all I'm saying is we have to be careful with these type of things. And I'm just calling out the hypocrisy in everybody. Everybody. Do I think Diddy is gonna do I think Diddy's gonna suffer? Yeah, of course. For a while, people ain't gonna book him on shows. But what I'm saying is we have to be careful about letting them attach Diddy to us as a whole, which I'm not going to allow. I'm not going to allow you white motherfuckers or you non-black motherfuckers to solely attach this to black men, because y'all Mexicans, y'all be beating y'all women's asses too. And every other ethnic group. Just keeping it real. Just telling the truth. We really have to be careful about those type of things, about letting people attach and put those type of things on us. Y'all already know how this works. They've been doing this for years. One black person may have an incident where he, may get into a shootout or something at a store. Then all of a sudden, then they want to talk about gun safety, gun control. But then you didn't see several videos of these white boys and non-blacks going into schools, movie theaters, churches, banks, and just going and just letting loose. But you never hear them talk about gun control until something happened with a black dude. Then all of a sudden, that's when they want to talk about gun control. So you have to be careful. What are you talking about? Okay, so get rid of the dude named Lee B because he trolling. So get rid of him. I'm gonna say your name because I know you wanted a little attention because you can't get it from your wife because you know because she probably out doing what Kel Mitchell's wife was doing, sleeping with everybody except him. So there, who else? Anybody else? So I don't have a light bulb. I'm just doing black screen. Anybody else my channel know I do black screen. What's up, Stevie? I'm just educating these people on this P. Diddy thing, and I'm just calling out the hypocrisy. I'm just trying to tell people to be careful with how they handle and approach this Diddy thing, and don't let them attach Diddy to the black community and black men as a whole. And I'm just calling out the hypocrisy. This is why we be trying to tell y'all black women to shut the fuck up. talking this stuff about you, will pull up on a man and you'll fight. Now all of a sudden you hollering about there's no excuse to do that to a woman. Well, then keep your damn mouth shut. Stop talking this superwoman stuff. Just like Lil Mo was talking that stuff. Lil Mo is like 5 feet, maybe on the dot. Stop talking about you gonna pull up on a man and you gonna fight a man, because you in all likelihood you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail miserably. We got to stop perpetuating certain stuff, especially in our community, thinking certain stuff is cool. We, as a black community, we think ass backwards. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about Charlie Sheen, how Charlie Sheen was allegedly doing, assaulting people. Nah, well, that's what I was talking about. Stephen A. Smith didn't go. Stephen A. Smith defended Dana White, just like he defended Jerry Jones being at a Jim Crow rally. He defended Megyn Kelly crying about the Black National Anthem. But all of a sudden, he just horrified. Didn't say nothing about War Machine. ESPN did not run one story. And they downplayed the Josh Giddey thing. Actually got mad when people called them out for not speaking on it. And you seen what they did to Udoka. Man had a consensual, you know what I'm saying, arrangement with a married woman, but yet he was vilified. So make that make sense. We have to be careful. Oh, for real? Well, of course not. Well, they downplayed that story, and that's what I was saying. Everybody was making these catchphrases and turning this thing with Diddy into like some kind of fad or something. Talking about no Diddy. Well, I was like, no Giddy. My thing is, how come those dudes don't have no nicknames? And then people think that's cool. All I'm saying is I have energy for everybody. I don't care what they look like. If you want some BS, you want some BS. Just like I'm finna cook Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife. Now all of a sudden she trying to play victim. Now she trying to rearrange her words and saying it was taken out of no, that's what you said. And you gon' oh yeah, and that's another thing. Why didn't Stephen A. Smith talk about him? They didn't say nothing about that, but he just so horrified about what happened with Cassie. And then if you brought that up to Stephen A. Smith, he'd try to play stupid. Yeah. Yeah, you talk about the dude that played for Seattle. Yeah. That's a story that was swept under the rug. Now I know Cassie is supposed to be part black or whatever the case may be, but you know what I'm saying? But nobody cared. But at the end of the day, if it come down to where they can demonize a black man, they'll do it. Nobody said nothing about Kristoff Porzingis. He kidnapped a black woman, and held her hostage and told her that she was going to be his slave. And the NBA swept that under the rug. Look it up. Look it up. So all I'm saying is have the same outrage. Yeah, Chad Willer. They didn't where was all this outrage for Chad Willer? ESPN didn't say nothing about that. Didn't say nothing. They didn't hardly say nothing. There was no 10-minute segments. I'm just keeping it a buck. There was no long 10-minute segments. For real. They swept that under the rug as quick as possible. So I'm just saying, we have to be careful with that kind of stuff. We have to be careful with that kind of stuff. Don't you remember when Von Miller got accused of DV? They couldn't wait. See, Stephen A. Smith couldn't wait to start, running his watermelon, running his watermelon butter biscuit, beans and cornbread, coon lips. So that's all I'm saying. We have to have the same energy. If we against this kind of stuff, we have to hold everybody accountable. Don't just wait till it's a black man, then all of a sudden it's just a story. And that's what they do. They make anything with us be like the story of the century. Chad Willer, keep in mind, was convicted. And he was convicted. Nobody hardly said a damn thing, but now all of a sudden everybody is horrified about what happened with Diddy and Cassie. And yeah, thank you. And not to mention Ben Roethlisberger, but then again, not to mention him. What he was accused of doing. They didn't even want to go into detail. They just were saying, well, you know what? I heard some things and that wasn't cool. But then again, they always have selected outrage. When the pale faces control the mass media, they're going to put out the stories that they want to put out. Everybody knows anything involving a black man is going to be sensationalized. It's going to be enhanced. They're going to make it look like this is the unprecedented of something like this happening. They're going to make it look like they've never seen nothing like this happen before. Because you have to understand, they want to put a stigma on us. And everybody has always saw black men as a global threat. Where we've been made to believe that we can't be leaders and that we're incapable of leading. We are leaders. We proved it. We proved that we can lead when we started to build our own communities, so-called post-slavery. And then at the end of the day, the white man saw what could potentially happen. So they came up with these elaborate plans to go in there and go destroy those communities. And then they have the audacity to tell us we need to move on from that. When we try to initiate and institute self-reliance, but they couldn't even stand that. So there you have it. And that's all I'm saying. So, well, the NFL, that's another thing. They downplayed the Chad Willer story. But they didn't have no problem. They didn't have no problem running Michael Irvin's name through the mud. They didn't have no problem running his name through the mud. And I'm going to tell you something. I think the NFL was mad at Michael Irvin because he decided to fight back. But at the end of the day, Michael Irvin will be fine. Michael Irvin received a $20 million settlement for having his name unfairly slandered and his reputation tarnished. So there you have it. But as I said before, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time talking about this Sean Combs thing. There are bigger fish to fry. As far as Cassie go, Cassie at the end of the day, she ended up getting something out of the deal. But once again, it sends a bad message that you would rather put your integrity, your morals, even your possible life on the line for fame and notoriety. So like I said, to a certain degree, I just don't feel that sorry for Cassie. When that happened, she should have called the authorities. When that happened, it ain't no coming back from that. And then once again, I'm just saying to all you women that's having this selective outrage towards Diddy, you're gonna be the same one talking about you'll run up on a man and all this kind of stuff. Well, that, like I said, in all likelihood will happen to you if the dude really decides to, return fire. Now, at the end of the day, not condoning any type of violence towards anybody. I do believe in self-defense. I believe that you have the right to defend yourself against anybody, no matter race, orientation, all that stuff, or gender. If a woman is yielding a knife at you, coming at you with a knife, you better defend yourself. Like, don't get caught up in fake facades, you know what I'm saying, and fake movements and fake outrage. Do not get caught up in that. Well, whatever the case may be, she got some millions. She got, it's some people say she got 30. Somebody said she got 200. She didn't get no $200 million. Stop it. I don't think she got no $80 million. 30 is probably feasible, but I don't think she got no $80 million. Well, I've always said this. I've always believed in it. Keep your hands to your damn self. Do not touch me. It is no reason for you to put your hands on me. So that's all I'm saying. And I was calling out the hypocrisy earlier for these women. So once again, for you women that's always talking this stuff about you will fight a man and you will run up on a man. You seen what happened to that white lady? You see what happened to that white lady a couple of years ago? She ran up on that dude. She put her hands on him. That man slapped her until to the next century. I mean, he slapped her so hard she spent. hit her head against the bar and was looking like. And after that, he called her. He said, "You stupid bum." He called her a bum. Yeah, I heard it was like 30. Yeah, Damien, I heard it was like 20, 30 minutes. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that kind of stuff. And she ran up to him and she put her hands on him first. But the funny thing is, you wasn't here. Nobody talked that, oh, you should never put your hands on a woman. You did. Everybody in the comment section, she put her hands on him first. So, but then, if it's a brother, I don't care what the situation is. It's never an excuse to do that. See how they instantly change the temperament and how they change the language when it's us. Once again, we just supposed to take it. We just supposed to sit up there and take it. Nah, I didn't see that because I didn't see that. But I'm just making an example. A lot of people be changing a temperament, and that's the problem. They don't have they never had the same energy where when these type of situations happen, depending on who it is or what they look like, what their skin tone is. If it's somebody that look like, What's that guy's name? Harvey Levin. You know, the energy level is like, you know, eh. But then if it's somebody like Jonathan Majors, who basically got convicted from trying to take his own stuff back, then all of a sudden the energy is like, you know, you being off 3 Red Bulls. So there you have it. But that's the point that I'm trying. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Can't keep having this selective outrage. Can't be mad about. You can't be enraged when one situation happens, but then when the other situation happens, you try to downplay. Like I said before, why ain't Stephen A. Smith disgusted at Chad Willard like beating a black woman within an inch of her life? He damn near killed her. But now all of a sudden, people are just about what happened with Diddy and Cassie. Yeah, wasn't a good look. Wasn't a good look at all. But then again, once again, how many times do you hear women who say, I like a bad boy, I like a roughneck, regular guys bore me, and all that kind of. I told you a long time ago, this bitch actually told me when I told her that I wasn't like, when I wasn't a street pharmacist no more, she said, ugh. Bitch, like what? She was totally turned off. That was like she was turned like so. That's all I'm saying. As a whole, we really need to like do some deep thinking because, like I said, we have been severely brainwashed by the trajectory and the imagery that has been been directed towards us, basically in the eyes of people that don't look like us, using people to look like us to put out that imagery. So be careful, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Anyway, I'm out.